When faced with the challenge, how hard would you be willing to work to succeed?
This is the story of Wilma Rudolph, with illustrations from Kathleen Kroll and David Diaz's book, Wilma Unlimited, retold by Jessica, Nicki, Codi, and Shayne.
Wilma was born in Clarksville, Tennessee in 1940. Life for a baby who weighed just over 4 pounds at birth was sure to be limited. No one expected such a tiny girl to have a first birthday, but most babies weren't Wilma Rudolph. She worried people. She was always so small and sickly. If a brother or sister had a cold, she got double pneumonia. Doctors were a luxury for the Rudolph family because only one doctor in Clarksville would treat black people. Just before Wilma turned 5, she got sicker than ever. During that sickness, Wilma's legs twisted inward and she couldn't move it back. The doctor came to see her then. Besides scarlet fever, he said, Wilma had also been stricken with polio. In most days, children who got polio either died or were permanently crippled. There was no cure. Wilma, that lively girl, would never walk again.
During the time of Wilma's childhood, in the 1940s, polio was the world's most dreaded disease. A cure for it was not found until 1955, and by then it had killed or crippled 357,000 Americans, mostly children.
Wilma kept moving any way she could, even if it meant hopping on one leg. Twice every week, Wilma and her mother took the bus to the nearest hospital that would treat black patients, some 50 miles away. They rode together in the back, the only place where blacks were allowed to sit.
Life for blacks in the 1940s was really different from now. Most states had Jim Crow laws which forbid blacks from interacting with whites in most settings. Public facilities such as restrooms, lunch counters, and schools were segregated.
Finally, tired of crying all the time, she decided she had to fight back, somehow. So with the help of others, Wilma practiced exercises constantly to strengthen her paralyzed leg, even when it hurt. With a new brace supporting her leg, she didn't have to hop anymore. Her family always cheered her on, and Wilma did everything she could to keep them from worrying about her. At times, her legs really did seem to be getting stronger. Other times, it just hurt. One Sunday, on her way to church, Wilma felt especially good. It would be just the place to try the bravest thing she'd ever done. Standing alone, she unbuckled her heavy brace and set it aside. Taking a deep breath, she moved one foot in front of the other, her knees trembling violently. Whispers rippled throughout the gathering. Wilma Rudolph was walking. Wilma practiced walking as often as she could. When she was 12 years old, she was able to take off the brace for good. One memorable day, Wilma and her mom wrapped the hated brace in a box and mailed it back. As soon as Wilma sent that box away, she knew her life was beginning all over again. After years of sitting on the sidelines, Wilma couldn't wait to throw herself into sports. She became accustomed to winning, eventually winning a full scholarship to Tennessee State University as a member of the track and field team. She was the first member of her family to go to college. Wilma's long legs and years of hard work carried her thousands of miles from Clarksville, Tennessee to the 1960 Summer Olympics in Rome, Italy. Participating in the Olympics was a deeply personal victory for Wilma, but her chances of winning were limited.
Games of the 17th Olympiad was the official name of the 1960 Olympic Games. 83 countries were represented, and it was the first Olympics to ever be fully covered on television.
The pressure from the public was intense. For the first time ever, the Olympics would be shown on television. Worst of all, Wilma had twisted her ankle just after arriving. Yet once it was her turn to compete, Wilma forgot her ankle and everything else. She ran better than she'd ever had before. She ran better than anyone else. Wilma Rudolph of the United States won the 100-meter dash. With the power of concentration, 3 Olympic gold medals were hers to take home in the 100-meter dash, 200-meter dash, and 400-meter relay. As the band played the Star-Spangled Banner, Wilma stood tall and still like a queen. Wilma Rudolph, once known as the sickliest child in Clarksville, had become the fastest woman in the world.
After Wilma retired from her career as a runner in 1962, she became a second-grade teacher and a high school coach. She remained a much-admired celebrity. Wilma Rudolph started a company called Wilma Unlimited, which gave her the opportunity to travel, lecture, and support causes she believed in. Later, the Wilma Rudolph Foundation, a nonprofit organization, was founded to nurture young athletes to succeed despite all odds against them. Wilma Rudolph died in 1994.